इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हरपल।
And having something that we call it is live. Yes. So we have to be very serious. It's been very
Why so serious?
Yes.
इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हरपल।
I came here.
So you
And luckily,
what did you love the
in 1984. Yeah, exactly. I remember the date. We applied the and it was very difficult to dub all the things here because it's a different so much. So there was no somebody tell him to repeat the whole thing. So enacting,
There are 7 languages in this country.
yeah.
So you were dubbing in which language?
In 7 languages.
So all 7 languages were being dubbed here.
No, English part and some part, I think, of the Italian part.
This is good. Just how we want to.
Now,
Was it going fine?
when my daughter is angry, she makes all the things,
इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हरपल।
Amar means immortal and Sneh means love, immortal love.
How about your age?
I'm, shall I tell exact age?
Yes.
I'm 70. I look like 70?
And what was your title in the Somali Dervishes?
I was director of Somali Dervish.
Yes. What was your role? What did you do in the film?
I was the director of the film, but of course I was playing a role of director.
No. We didn't have that fun. Let's start with you're from India and you're going to Somalia
Yeah.
to make a film.
Number one, that Somalia has selected me to direct the Somali film. So I can understand what is your intention to ask. See, this film was very peculiar and very big canvas. As per the filmmaking is concerned, people from different countries were working in that film, of different languages, and yeah.
How many days did it take to shoot?
It took about 5 months to shoot the film, and before that, some initial preparations of 4 months. So before we gone to the sets, I have made good homework. Studied the script many times with different point of views. First was just only for the information, what is the subject. And next,
इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हर पल।
So, going through many times to the script, it benefited me to know about the character, now the part of actors who is going to play the role. So, in that context, Mr. Saeed Sala, he was a backbone of the project, I can say it. So, he was a historian, a writer, dramatist, a poet, and good director, good drama director. So he helped me so much that he, before we went to the sets, he was organizing rehearsals. But I'm sorry, though it was over-rehearsed. So he gave the training in very dramatic ways, as a stage drama. So another big challenge came before me, because this is a different media. And there on the stage, they are talking to audience. And the artists who were participating in this film, most of the artists appeared first time for acting.
First time.
First time. So it was a very big challenge for me. How to deal with, how to communicate with, because it's a different media.
Yeah.
So all the techniques and other things which I experienced in my previous films, but it all failed. So what I adopted, how to communicate with them. First is to tell that you are talking to camera. Camera is the audience. But they were not understanding. Okay, camera. Where is camera? Here. So this was the main problem. How to? So I invented a new way. Somalia has, so this film has given me another knowledge that you can use that. I invented a new way to direct the artists. And what was that? See, I was telling mechanical rehearsals. First, I told all the artists, while shooting is going on, you have to come and observe. It was a basic training for them. So all the people were gathered around, and seeing how he's dealing with the actor. So he's telling, you have to speak here, blah, 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 blah. Oh. No. You have to do all the things here at 3 places, and this is mechanical. 3 places. So I was giving them mechanical rehearsal so that where will be the look? Here. He's talking to another character. So basic informations are given here. Then somebody died in the war. So next is here. Now he's so this way. Then after the mechanical rehearsals are over, I was telling them to normalize it. So how to normalize? You have to this much only from here to this point. Okay, then you have not to go beyond this. So I was telling them the dialogues, I was seeing the dialogues and basic emotions and informations, whatever dialogue contains. So I was telling them this part, this much you have to speak here, and then here, then here. So I was telling them, I was speaking the dialogues, I was not speaking the dialogues in English dialogues and translating into English, because they may confused. So I was doing, speaking the dialogues without sound. Like this. So I invented a new way to direct the artists, and it worked.
Talk about the productions.
Productions, Somalia.
Wait. Talk about the productions.
Okay. Shall I?
Yeah.
See, the productions, as per the productions are concerned, you know, Somalia is a very, very difficult country. So for the filmmaking, nothing was available actually over there. So we had all the equipment from Mumbai. CD Kishore, this equipment supplier company, a very big company. So they provided us the whole this thing. But the problem was, I was needing crane over there. So for the high angle or flat top angle shots, it was because it was war.
इंडिया आजकल सच खबर हरपल.
I was saying, please reduce it, and it is reduced to this much. But in camera, it was like this, you know. So it was very difficult. So I told my cameraman, Mr. B. Ved Prabhu, you are a student of yoga. Please help me. How your body can absorb the vibration of this crane. So I make him standing in the this crude trolley. I have got photographs of that. I will give you photographs. So I was keeping him like, sir, can I stand? Yes. So he was holding camera here. And it was this much, you know. Then you have to resist it. And I took vertical shot. Okay. It was okay. But it took me 3 hours. And I was surprised. How can you shoot with this crude trolley and doing camera work? But we have seen the shot while on editing table. My editor, Mr. B. Prabhakar, was not believing that it was shot through the crude trolley.
Okay.
So every time we were working in odds, and every time we were the winners. It was a huge film, and About 100 main actors participated in that. 100 actors. And of different languages. And I was having a one interpreter, Mr. Arthan, I remember his name. You should appreciate my memory. His name was Arthan. He was well versed with Arabic, Somali, English, and some Turkey also. So these were about 6 languages were there. In film, there were interpreters also. You see, it was a very, very, very big film, and lots of people were working in all different languages. So it is not that if someone is speaking different language and Somalian people have to see that film, it is communicated. It is communicated. Even when we did premiere over here, a person was a catering person was supposed to serve the tea and all in the hall, but he was holding and seeing the film. He forgot. It was a very, very effective film, and I have used a very different language. Most of the things were expressed through the body language and other things. Okay, 50% or less than 50% language worked. But the situations and other things, itself conveying the whole thing.
Let's talk about the interview. I mean, we need to get to the nuts and bolts. This is the long. Let's talk about the animals used. It was a period piece. You have guns, costumes. Where did they come from?
See,
Battle
it's a very important question. That since it was about when the English people were ruling here, at the same time in Somalia, the freedom struggle started. So it was very difficult to get the costumes of journals, military journals, and all those people. You know, they were having very peculiar dresses. You know, so it was very difficult. But my co-producer, he was Colonel S.J. Singh. He was having a company which is associated with the Somalian film industry, Somalian Film Agency. It was NCB, that company. He was having some contacts with people. So he managed to have those dresses from archive, and we used it and given them back. So this was the thing. And next was the costume of Somali. They were, black skin tone and all. And they were wearing the customary dress. It is a white dress. So it was very difficult to match the things, you know. It was giving saturation, you know. Black face, and if we adjust the costume, the face goes. If we adjust the face, then the whole body goes. So off-white dress we used. I got it dyed and all.
Yes.
So we used that.
Talk about the animals. I heard there was a
Animals, I tell
Many
you,
horses.
animals. They were behaving under my order.
No, seriously. You had the battle scenes. Did you have I heard there was over 100 horses.
Yeah, 100 horses. The problem was, I tell you, it's a very funny thing I'm telling you. The horses which were brought originally a year back, and requirement was that only, in beginning we bought. But some other party was planning the things of this film. Some other party, I don't know, from your state. so by the time I entered into the scene, the horses were multiplied. And as per the government order, I was supposed to use all the horses. Otherwise, people will ask why you have purchased so many horses. So I used all the horses.
Which is 100.
Yeah, about 100. About 100. And the major problem was how to manage the water for those animals. The in charge of animal, Mr. Abdul Qadir, if I'm not wrong, my memory works rightly, his name was Abdul Qadir. I can't forget him. So they were managing the tankers. Where Somalia, water is not easy to find the water. At that time, it must be very hard to find the water. So tankers, dozens of tankers were arranged from some other town. The tankers, because Somalia was not having many roads, it was one road, as I remember. So to bring the water for animals and fodder for animals, it was very, 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 very difficult. So if we are shooting from Hargeisa to some other place, so in advance the animal in charge was to manage the things. 4 days, 5 days in advance, they were moving from that place to that place, so this place to that place.
For the water.
Yeah. Then we were shooting over there. Again, animals are always at travel. So this was the thing. This was the one thing that about animals. But shall I tell you, or you have asked animal, but the horse riders, you may ask.
Yes. The horse riders. The people who actually ride the horses, yeah.
The horse riders were trained. We gave them training by the trainer, and they become very, very good horse riders. But some of the nomads were working in this. Most of the artists were nomads. So they were working in that. So they were having, kath. Kath is intoxicant.
Yes.
They were very fond of that. So if I gave any instruction, they were forgetting very fast. So what happened, I was taking passing shots. So momentary shots, So riders were coming. So I was provoking them, you have to fight with the British people, British military and all. And I excited them so much. They went on running and disappeared and never came back. So hours to hours I was waiting that they should come back, and they should be brought back for the next scene. So now the search party, I sent the search party to search them. In morning, the riders were saying, why did you not come back? They were saying, we were searching the enemies.
Okay, so You filmed
इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हर पल।
About around about 100 actors, major actors, and about 500 extras.
500 extras. Okay. And
That time, it was not you. Now the techniques are different. You can multiply one person into thousands.
yes.
At that time, that facility was not there, so we have to put the actual number of people.
Yes.
So since it was a war, so in war you say there was there were 3 wars fought by Abdullah Hassan, the hero of this film, called Mad Mullah. So there were Somali people fighting against British people, then British army, and the Camel Corps from India. At the time, they were English people were ruling India.
Yes.
So they sent Camel Corps to fight against Somalia.
Yes.
So in that also, people were many Indians were required in that. No, so we managed Indians.
So you had Indian actors as well.
Yeah.
You had Indian. Okay. So that worked. It's 5 months. 500 extras, 100 horses, 100 actors,
And camels too.
and camels. How many cameras did you have?
Camels we were having about in some places, when we wanted to show the herds and other things, close to their settlements, then we were showing a man, but we used about 25 animals or so, and for different scene, for passing the scene, it was more about 50 or 100, so as a 50 animals.
Okay. So and how about your camera people? How many cameras did you have? Did you
We
use
were
for the
having actually one camera mostly we used, but sometimes we used 2 also.
2 cameras. Okay. And sound?
Sound, okay, we were doing on Nagra. We were using Nagra, and sound was you have asked a very important question. We played the tricks. I was knowing that for such a huge cast, it is very difficult to bring the people to India and dub the things, because different languages were there, and here there was no Somali dubbing artists were available. So that part we did there only, though they were not having a proper studio. But after every shooting, in night time, I instructed the recordist, you take the artist there and tell him to speak the whole thing which we shot.
Okay.
So in some calm place, that worked.
That worked perfectly.
Yeah, that worked.
Okay. And then when you wrap production, where was the film processed?
What was it?
When you wrap production, where was the film processed?
The film was processed here in 3 labs. And major lab was Bombay lab.
Sorry, can you start that again?
Pardon?
Can you start that again?
Go ahead, start it again. I'm sorry. I can
You have to ask the question
yes,
again.
okay, yes, again. What was the question?
Where was the film
Oh, yes.
processed?
Where were the film processed?
Film processed here in Mumbai. It is processed by Bombay lab, and we were working in 3 places. In 3 editing studios were hired, and one studio was Navratna studio. There we did the coding part, sorting out the shots and other things because non-availability of editing room. So later we shifted the complete editing we did with the Bombay lab. So they were having editing facilities also. They were having good suits, and major films were just edited over there, and ours too. So this was and it took. We hired that studio in February '84.
February 4th.
And I completed the whole editing part and other things and complete ready film on January 16th, 1985.
And
It took about almost 11 months
11 months of the entire production.
Yeah.
In post-production.
in post-production.
Okay. And then where did the film first premiere?
It was on 17th. I completed the film on 16th January 1984 and 7th on 17 we arranged the premiere and all the people of Somali authorities and other people and some people complete our technical team and other things. We watched that.
You watched it, but where did the world premiere happen? Here in Mumbai, the theater?
Yeah, in the this Bombay lab was having its own theater.
His own theater, but I'm talking about for the public. Did it show up for the public?
Public, once the film is over and the director gives the final print, then who exhibits, where exhibits, I don't know, but I have got some knowledge that it was released in Somalia and some other places also. Saeed will be the proper person too.
Thanks.
Because
Okay. Let me ask you. Okay, so then after. Question. So there was no premiere in Mumbai.
that was the
That
only
was
one
it.
show.
Just the
That
one
was the
shot.
premiere, and some
For the
people
cast.
from films have also come.
Okay.
We invited so many people, and out of curiosity,
Yeah.
Indian directed some foreign movie.
Sure.
So many people came, many people, and they were all academicians and journalists and other
Sure.
people. Yeah. So
What was the total running time of the film?
what was that?
Total running time of the film. How long was the film?
It took. It started the pre-shooting work and shooting and post-shooting.
Okay.
So it started. I signed this film on 9th June 1983, and since that day, the work started. So, with the help of Mr. Saeed Sala, rehearsals and preparations and other things, I was engaged. And 5 months it took, 4 months we were doing all this, and 5 months shooting, about 115 shifts, including 22 double shifts. We completed the whole thing. Shooting part, and some of the part, only 2 scenes were left, which we could not shoot in Somalia, that we shot here in India. One was, I think, with British War Office, and one scene was of boat, some Italian person comes, for the negotiations and other things, and only while he comes through the boat, that part we shot here in Mumbai.
Okay. And so then, what was your budget on the film? Total budget.
I don't know about budget, but
You don't know about
because they were budget means I told them in beginning that I need this thing, that thing. He said, you provide me that. So they were looking after NCB, that Indian company, and the Somali Film Agency. They were doing this financial part of it. I was not involved in that.
Okay. And the film was 4.5 hours long?
Yeah.
4.5 hours.
Because it can't be, you see, Somalians were very, very particular about their this war and culture and other things. I think it was a first major film ever made in Somalia. So they were very much, and today I'm telling you, it is badly needed because everything is changed. And Somalia is now that Somalia.
Yeah.
So in that film, their culture, their way of life, and other things are there. So it is a very relevant film today.
It's still relevant today.
It's still relevant.
Okay. And you didn't, since it did premiere here, did you read any press on it? How did the press like it? The reviews. Do you remember any reviews? No. Since you didn't tour with the film, you probably don't know about the reviews.
Reviews?
Yes, of the film.
Yeah, reviews, some of the people, came at the time of premiere. Times of India put a very big this thing. And they gave a title, Somalian Gandhi.
Somalian Gandhi.
Yeah, fought against British. So some of the people. But later informations appeared in almost all the national papers. And I was interviewed by All India Radio about this film. So many interviews, and since then, wherever I go, can you tell me just about the Somali film? So everywhere it is, I'm tagged. So this is the thing, and still people are writing about the Somalian film.
They still are.
Is still writing, because I was telling them that how the people, I tell you one incident about the character of this Somalia. When I went in beginning, I wanted to have a public contact and all. One minister of Somalian minister asked me, "What would you like to do first?" I said, I want to see the country and the people. So I come across one person who was not knowing English, a little brother, sister, he was knowing only this much. So I asked,
Yeah.
"Yes, I am." Then I said, "Two." So oh, 4. But well, you, me, one person Somalian, he, we are all brothers. We are all brothers. So this is the character of Somalia. I found that they were treating all the people like brothers, and among them they were very congenial and very, very friendly with each other. They were so it was a to my as per my reaction, Somalia is not a country, it was one family. And
इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हर पल।
What was done here for the Somali dervishes?
We did dubbing of the film here.
Okay.
Dubbing of the film. I do remember that some British one voice was for British commissioner, and some colonels were the characters. They were dubbed here,
Okay.
and I don't remember whether Sai Sala was here, but whatever the sound we recorded, over there, that was so. For Somalian this thing for dialogues, there was no dubbing.
Okay.
But we dubbed, of course, the English artists, because one fellow doing a general role or a commissioner's role, he was always moving his neck like this, So hissing noise was there. It came through lapels.
Yes.
So that was dubbed here.
Okay. Good. I thank you. It's very nice. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
One thing.
Yeah. Let's play some.
Just one thing.
Some.
Amar,
Yes.
just repeat after me, but tell it to Mark how long the film was. So say the film was 4.5 hours?
Yeah.
I just need a clean version of you saying the film was
Okay.
4.5
Yes.
hours.
How long was the film?
The film was 4.5 hours long.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's the pickup I needed. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry guys, just give me a minute.
Tell us when. Yeah. We have known what we do. We have known. Can you tell me that I have known? And I think that you are I see. Now, listen to now, let's see. The people are coming back or not from where they are during the civil war in that No, not yet. And how is Sabri? But I think that structure is okay. You gonna do it again? Please stand on that. Yeah, come this way. Yeah, stand here, please.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Yes. What do you want me to do?
He just asked you something.
I want to talk about
This film, how old is it? Who started it? Who's your grandfather? Who is your grandfather?
इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हर पल।
You should ask about the context about what you come.
That also. But also Filmalia. Also, bit of history also is important, no?
Yes.
Because we also have so many shots of footage of that we are here. Why we are here, we already know. Where does he look? Where does he look? In the camera?
You want a back?
No, facing.
I talked, where's my look? Look it. Okay, hurry. Look it.
Look at. I'm here.
Look at Marlon.
Yeah, so tell us about Filmalia. I mean, how it began and what.
Filmala is one of the oldest studios in Bombay today. It started in 1958. The studio has contributed a lot to Hollywood. Big actors, big directors, big music directors, technicians, edit to sound. Everybody, they got their breaks from here. And Filmala studios have made one of the biggest musical hits. And
Which one is it?
Love is Simla, Dil Deke Dekho, Ek Musawir Hasina, Leader. And these movies had big actors who were like heartthrobs of their time, like Shami Kapoor, Sushant, Joy Mukherjee, Dilip Kumar. And even the actresses from Asha Parekh, Shaira Banu, Sadhna, and it goes on, Sanjeev Kumar. So, big actors, big names, big technicians, big directors.
Who started the studio?
My grandfather,
What is it?
his name is Padma Shri Shashadhar Mukherjee. You can say he's one of the pioneers that this entire industry of Bollywood is standing on. Because he owned 3 studios, which are the, you can say, 3 pillars on which this entire Bollywood existed, which was Mumbai Talkies, Filmistan, and Filmala. The Filmala is still functional, and the next generation, the 3rd generation, we are yet in the movies, we're acting, we're directing. So he's our inspiration, and in many ways we look to him. He's no more, but he has been the strong man on whose shoulder this industry actually exists today.
And we are here because of this film, Somali film. The Somali Dervish. So, you have like anything to add to that?
I do remember. Filmala had the first Asia's first acting school, and we also in those had a very famous theatre. We had a very famous theatre where it was for preview. The movie was to be previewed, even dubbing, even doing the follies and all that. So in those days, a lot of pictures from all over the country,
All over the world.
And the world, they've come and shot over here. They've dubbed over here. Their follies have been done over here. And in those days, it was a busy market here. And I, as a child, I have seen these things happen. In those days, we had the old Indian machines that we never had these gadgets and those same bags. So, as I come here, it's like quite nostalgic actually for me when I look back. That I've seen those people. They're no more, but I've seen those people work on these projects, and I'm so happy that at least you all have come back here, tracing the footprints, from how your project started off. So I'm very happy.
इंडिया आजकल, सच खबर हर पल।
Hello friends, I am IPS Yadav and you are watching India Ajkal Sach Khabar Harpal. Today I am in Mumbai Filmalaya studio with Mr. Amar Sneh and his friends from USA, Mr. Mark, who has come here to shoot a documentary program on Mr. Amar Sneh, who directed the Somali Darwish, the biggest movie 30 years back on Somalia. So let me speak to Mr. Mark about the today's documentary. Sir, please tell us today's what about the shooting?
The shooting for today. Oh yes. Today I did an interview with Mr. Amar, the director of the Somali Dervishes, and I was able to get more information of how it was made and the different challenges that were to making it in a country as Somalia. And I was able to get more specific detail on the number of actors and how he worked with actors not speaking the language completely. And then I was able to get more information, which is critical, of the sound and how would you mic all these extras and all these people. How, so.
Please tell us something about your program and the channel where this will be telecast.
My program, my film is called Somalia in the Picture. It's Somalia's 100-year achievement in cinema from 1914 through the diaspora. We will premiere in 2020 at film festivals, and we'll do a tour of that, and then later we'll go to broadcast.
Very nice.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. We would like to Amarji to say a few words.
Okay.
Amarji, please hold the mic and tell us something about how was the experience today working for this?
I met Mr. Mark first time, and I found that he has got very quick grasp of my personality and all, and set the questions, relevant questions. And I don't know whether he is satisfied. Are you satisfied?
I am satisfied, yes.
Yeah, so nice.
Yes.
Thank you both of you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
इंडिया आजकल सच खबर हर पल।